going on, lads? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are looking at the advanced knife lineups for Kayo on the map Ascent in Valorant. This is going to be the legit lineups where you're throwing it from behind cover across the map to get A or B side or wherever. We are going to get right into the video. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the video and want to see our upcoming videos. And let's go. So like always, we're going to be starting on attacker side and going to be starting with A side. So A side's actually a bit tricky because of the size of it. There's not a whole lot of really great knife lineups that you can do. One of the simplest ones is going to be landing a knife right here, which isn't too bad. It gets the majority of heaven and the rest of the site. It does not get this corner here. It's really an easy lineup. You just kind of sit in this corner here right off the beginning of the barrier drop, and you're going to be lining up the top horizontal line on your health bar with this right here, this kind of like green rectangle right here on the wall. So we'll put the bottom part of that horizontal line right there. All right, and we'll show you where that lands. It's at least protected from heaven, and these people will have to turn around. And I mean, if you guys push quickly, you'll have an advantage. Either the knife lands and suppresses, or they have to turn and you have they'll have their crosshair will be displaced because the enemy team will be turning to destroy the knife, or they'll be suppressed. So potentially an advantage, probably not really, because they're just gonna take this suppression. So the knife's not bad, not great, but that's one lineup for A site. One other knife you can throw for A site, which I don't think is as good because it only gets like half a sight, but you can tuck into the corner of these boxes here, and you're gonna use the dot on your knife ability above the E with the corner on this flag here. So you line that up there. You can go a little bit to the right just to be kind of safe. You can throw the knife there, and we'll see where that lands. It's semi-protected. Lands there. It gets, all the tree and kind of in that arc there. So it's not bad. So you still need to check right side of sight and heaven and everything, but you'll have information and suppression for tree and Jenny and all that. But it's not too bad, but it's more protected, I think, for at least this side of sight. I think this one's a lot more useful. That's really all there is for A site. There's really not that many great ones because of the size of this one. The first one I think is probably the best, even though there is a pretty decent chance of it getting destroyed. The second one's all right. I mean, it definitely gets everyone that's in tree. It's just not as good because it only gets, a half or even really a third of sight, which I just don't think is as useful. It does give you a better idea of where those players are at though, which could be nice. For B site on attacker side, there's two that I throw. One is for the front of site and one is for actual side. The first one is going to land about there, which will show me anyone that's playing in main or in market. And the second one lands right here, which keeps it protected and will show essentially all of sight. And they are both thrown from the same spot, just to keep things pretty simple, which is right here. And they both use essentially the same lineup for the most part. They just use different things to line it up. So for the B main and market lineup, we are going to use the top horizontal line on our health bar to line it up again. And we're going to use this kind of antenna looking thing to line it up. So we're going to line up the bottom part of that line with the antenna and put the knife there. That'll land up there. Keeps the knife protected and will give us all of that information, which I think the timing on that one is really strong for team pushes. I think that's a very useful knife. For the B main knife lineup, we're going to be using the faint white line under the molly green bar, and essentially we're going to be lining it up over here. So the way this works is this little thing here, we're going to be lining it up right where this paler part of the wall meets this white part here. So essentially it is going to be right here. It's got to be on the top of the paler part of the wall where the where it touches the white. So about there, and you don't want to be too far left or you're gonna land on the ground where the knife will be destroyed. It'll land there, it'll get all of sight. It hits the boathouse, as long as they're not playing like out here for some reason. I guess if they're like trying to peek into main or something. So yeah, that'll get all of sight. If you wanted to knife mid arches from a lobby, you would just stand in the corner of these boxes here, and you're gonna use the dash in between your knife and ultimate abilities. You're gonna line the right side of that dash up with the corner right here. So you would just line that up right there and toss your knife. It'll in there, it'll get all of, you know, arch, then back here some. Not a bad knife. Anyone that's playing close here would be able to shoot it, but they would also, you know, be exposed to anyone there if they had pushed up. It's not smoked off. Not too bad. All right, so let's say that you're holding A and the other team is hard pushing B. A knife you can throw to help out your team is to sit in this corner here and then use your knife to, you're basically going to line it up with this corner here and then move it just a little bit to the right. And so you're gonna line up the top left corner and then move it a little bit to the right. And what this will do is so it lands there. It'll hit everyone in B main except for anyone that's still way back there. So everyone that's already pushed out, everyone that's in B main, and it will, moving a little bit to the right will make sure it doesn't hit the roof, so it will maximize the amount of people that it hits, which will really help anyone that you have that's playing the site. It will help your team that's still trying to move over to the site so that you guys have a better chance of stopping the push. You can throw essentially the same knife from tree if you're playing cat or tree to hold a main. So to do this, you would stand in this corner here, and you're gonna use the top left of your knife icon to line this up. And essentially you're gonna be lining it up with this little leaf that's sticking out right here. So you're gonna line it up right here, and you can throw this knife right here. I prefer to drag it down a bit to throw the knife a little deeper. It makes it a little more protected. You can use the dash mark between the flash and knife icon to line it up right here if you want to. You don't have to. You can line it up right there, and that knife works just as well. It's just a little less protected, but you can throw that knife right there, and that will also get anyone that is pushing out of B main. And if your enemy is pushing up through mid to B site, you can sit in this corner again, and you are going to be using this white beam here on the clock tower that's over here in the distance, and you're going to use the top horizontal line on your health bar again to make this line up. You're going to use the kind of like top like tick mark that's curving up to make this line up. You're just gonna set it up on this part right here, just kind of in the middle. I'll show you where that lands. This one is completely protected. Lands there to go to anyone that's still playing out here and anyone that's in market. And where you're lining up here, you're essentially putting your crosshair right here. So right on this line here and then in the center. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact because you're essentially just lining it up right here on the roof. So as long as it doesn't land in here, because anyone that's in here can destroy it, because the knife will go through this roof unless it lands on one of these wooden beams. And you can throw the same knife from tree again by standing in the same corner. And this one is a little bit more complicated to line up. You're going to use the flash icon, the bottom of that, and the green bars under that to line it up. You're going to basically use the left half of the green icon to line it up vertically with this yellow patch right here. You're going to use that, line that up vertically, and then the bottom of the flash icon, line that up horizontally. Through the knife there. Lands in the exact same spot, so you can get the same information there in case you were playing cat or watching A from tree. Enemy's already on site at A, and you're rotating through market to heaven. You can get into this corner here and use this right here is, I think it's like an air conditioner or something. The top horizontal line on your health bar. Gonna line up the corner, just bring it down a little bit. That'll put it on top of the boxes there. I'll get everything except for B main, this corner here, and then trees. If the enemy is pushing through tree, same position. You're just gonna line up the dash mark between your flash and your knife with this right here. So you just kind of put it there. Position doesn't matter a whole lot. Super simple knife though. Just lands in there and we'll basically get everything. If they're not pushed in all the way, then it won't get them, but your teammates can rotate through arches and get those kills fairly easily. So if the enemy is still in A main or just now pushing out into the actual site and you're rotating through market into pizza and all that, you can throw a knife from here. You can essentially line up the dash mark between your flash and the knife with this right here, the bottom part of it. You line that up there, or you can use the knife and kind of just line it up right here and drag it over. Either one works. It's just personal preference. So you just line that up. This will land about here. So that'll get essentially all of A main and then anyone that's pushed up into here, and that will greatly support your team. All right, thank you all so much for watching. That is all of the knife lineups we have for Ascent. I think next we might do another map, or we might go ahead and do Molly lineup. I think we might go ahead and do another map first, and then we'll come back and do the Molly lineups another time. So yeah, let me know what map you want to see next, and thank you all so much for watching again, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and want to see our next videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.